What's up guys, and welcome to my first video of Dedication Tuesday. So as you know, this month it's going to be Deus Ex Human Revolution because it's going to be coming out pretty soon on the 23rd, at least for the United States release. Today I'm going to talk about the comic books. If you didn't know that there were some comic books for Deus Ex Human Revolution, there are 6 issues out. They're only 6 issues, so there's not going to be any made after that. Maybe, I don't know if they're probably going to make some after the game, but before the game there's only 6 issues. Issue number 1, they've got some really cool covers. Hopefully the light isn't like shining crazy on them. They are about the main character that comes out in Deus Ex Human Revolution, Adam Jensen. And the cool thing about this comic is that it doesn't go into the storyline of the game. I was kind of afraid that that's what it was doing, because it does talk a lot about, it has to do with the character that's in the game. So I was like, am I reading the game story? But it's not the game story. It does follow, like I said, it follows Adam Jensen. He is already augmented at the beginning of the comics. If you don't know anything about Deus Ex or anything about Deus Ex Human Revolution, and you don't want to know anything about it, you want to play the game like completely new, like knowing nothing, then I would say don't watch this, because I am going to go into what happened to Adam Jensen, some background on him, the consequences of what happened to him, and how he became augmented and all that. So if you don't want to know anything about his background or anything about how he ended up this way, then don't watch this, because they do go over this in the game. What I'm going to talk about is actually shown in the game. Okay, so for those of you that do want to know, I don't think these are considered spoilers. They're just a little bit of background, preparing you for the game. I think that's what the comics did pretty well, is that they prepare you for the game, especially for someone that's just going into the world of Deus Ex like I am. I've never played any of the games. The comic books are a good start. Like, they do a very good job of introducing the story. And since Deus Ex Human Revolution is a prequel, we're not really at a disadvantage, because we don't have the whole package of previous games to understand like the sequels and stuff like that. So since this is a prequel, it's kind of like it's a good game to jump into. So yeah, the comics give you a good understanding of the storyline of who Adam Jensen is. The interesting thing is that this story of the comics, it follows just one story, the 6 comics, so they all go in consecutive order. This story is after the beginning of Human Revolution. And I know this because in Human Revolution, it starts off that Adam Jensen is actually not augmented yet. He's just, a normal person. And in the comics, he's already augmented. So it means that this story happens sometime after the beginning of Human Revolution. Who knows when? I don't know if it's after the game. I think it's somewhere in the middle of the game, but the game isn't going to go into this story. They might have little cameos of characters that were in the comic. I don't know, maybe that'd be cool. So if you're wondering what happened to Adam, this is what happened. Adam Jensen is the head of security of this company called Seraph Industries. He used to work for the SWAT team, so he's mostly worked in like security type of jobs. Now Seraph Industries is a company that is owned by a guy named David Seraph, and what they do is they make augmentations. So if someone loses an arm, they will like put a robotic arm on them. And not just like a prosthetic arm, right? Not just an arm. Like sometimes they'll put like arms that have other purposes to them, like strength or speed, or sometimes even like guns. So they're advanced augmentations that actually have other purposes. In the beginning of Deus Ex, and also it also kind of goes into it in the comic, is the Seraph Industries gets attacked by an unknown group of people, of augmented people, like augmented soldiers almost. They attack Seraph Industries, and they basically almost kill Adam Jensen. They killed his girlfriend, Megan, who also worked for Seraph Industries. I think she was probably like one of the scientists or something like that, or a doctor in the company. They were romantically involved, and she was killed, and he was left basically for dead. The company, Seraph Industries, since he was such a good asset for them, and he was their head of security, they basically got his body and they basically saved him. So Seraph Industries didn't just save his life, they also augmented him to like the max. They gave him these robotic arms, basically robotic limbs, and a piece on his, in like little augmented areas in his chest too, and also his eyes. He has augmented eyes. So they kind of made him the, like, they were, I guess they were like, well, since he's the head of security, let's turn him into like the super security, mega dude. So he basically didn't ask for this. And it says on here some of the things that they augmented. Yeah, it says he's a physical security chief. They gave him smart vision, which gives him, it's a vision enhancement, x-ray vision through walls, doors, and cover objects. They give him cybernetic arm prosthesis. It gives him speed and strength enhancements. Rhinodermal armor on his chest, so it reduces injury from fire, electrical, ballistic, and impact. And cybernetic leg prosthesis, sprint strength, and jump enhancements. So you're going to be able to do all this stuff in the game. He also has this pretty cool thing. I think it's called the Icarus. It was in the game as well. It looks, you can see it in the trailer. He does this. When he's jumping off a building, he could jump from high altitudes because he's got this little this yellow orb that just covers him, and it's called the Icarus something. And while he's falling, it will absorb the impact, so he won't get hurt. So he's got a lot of cool stuff. His arms, I think you've seen this in the trailers, his arms from down here, like his elbows, actually have like these big huge swords coming out like that, like sticking out. So he could like chop somebody's head off with his freaking elbow.